Tensions continue to rise as Russia and Ukraine announce competing ceasefires amidst ongoing conflict. Meanwhile, the situation in Iran escalates, with the Pentagon's alarming updates on military action. Here are today's top 10 stories you need to know. As the conflict in Ukraine drags on, the humanitarian crisis continues to deepen. Millions of civilians are displaced, facing dire conditions as they seek safety and basic necessities. Humanitarian organizations are working tirelessly to provide aid, but they are often met with challenges due to ongoing hostilities. The international community is responding with appeals for increased support, urging nations to contribute resources and assistance to alleviate the suffering. The situation is particularly critical in regions heavily impacted by fighting, where access to food, water, and medical supplies is severely limited. As winter approaches, the urgency for humanitarian relief efforts will only grow. The resilience of the Ukrainian people is commendable, but the need for sustained international support is evident. As global awareness increases, advocacy for the affected populations is expected to intensify, pushing for a coordinated response to address the urgent needs on the ground. The coming months will be pivotal in determining the effectiveness of humanitarian efforts and the prospects for recovery in the region. The ongoing conflict in Iran is beginning to have significant repercussions on the global economy. Analysts are raising alarms about potential disruptions in oil supply chains, which could lead to increased prices worldwide. With Iran being a key player in the oil market, any escalation in hostilities could have far-reaching effects on energy prices and trade relations. Investors are closely monitoring the situation, adjusting their strategies in anticipation of market volatility. The interconnectedness of global economies means that a crisis in one region can quickly ripple across borders. Moreover, countries heavily reliant on Iranian oil are beginning to explore alternative sources, which could reshape international trade dynamics. As the situation develops, the emphasis will be on how global markets react and whether diplomatic efforts can mitigate the economic fallout. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining the financial implications of the Iran conflict, as stakeholders seek stability in an unpredictable environment. Following increasing tensions with Iran, U.S. officials are strategizing their next steps in collaboration with allied nations. Diplomatic discussions are ongoing as leaders seek to outline a unified response to recent provocations. The potential for military action remains on the table, although many are advocating for a diplomatic solution to de-escalate the situation. The discussions are critical, as the outcomes will significantly influence regional stability and international relations. Allies are expressing solidarity with the U.S., indicating a collective determination to address the challenges posed by Iran's actions. However, there is also an awareness of the risks involved in escalating military involvement. As these deliberations continue, the global community is watching closely, hoping for a resolution that prioritizes peace and security. The next phase of this diplomatic effort will be pivotal in shaping the international response and addressing the underlying issues contributing to the conflict. With tensions escalating in Iran, the U.S. government is facing critical decisions regarding its military presence and strategy in the region. Recent provocations from Iranian forces have heightened concerns over potential clashes that could destabilize the entire Middle East. Analysts suggest that the U.S. may reconsider its approach, weighing the balance between military action and diplomatic negotiations. The situation is fluid, with new developments emerging daily as both sides engage in a war of words and posturing. Many fear that a misstep could lead to a significant escalation, prompting calls for a more measured response from U.S. officials. As discussions unfold, the impact on global oil markets and trade routes remains a key factor. The international community is closely monitoring the situation, with allies expressing support for de-escalation efforts. With the stakes so high, the coming weeks will be crucial in determining the future course of U.S.-Iran relations and the broader regional security landscape. The U.S. is in the midst of primary elections, with crucial votes taking place across multiple states, including Indiana. These primaries will determine the candidates representing both the Democratic and Republican parties in the upcoming November elections. The stakes are high as voters are poised to make decisions that will shape the political landscape. The primaries have attracted significant attention, particularly given the recent controversies surrounding redistricting and party strategies. Many incumbents face challenges from within their own parties, reflecting a growing divide among party members. As ballots are cast, analysts are closely watching voter turnout and demographic trends that could indicate broader electoral sentiments. The outcomes in Indiana and other key states may set the tone for national campaigns, making these elections a focal point for political observers. Social media platforms are buzzing with discussions around candidates and their strategies as voters weigh their options. The results will be pivotal in understanding the direction of both parties heading into the general election. Following ongoing hostilities, both Russia and Ukraine have announced ceasefire agreements intended to facilitate peace talks. These agreements come at a critical time as international pressure mounts for a resolution to the conflict. The ceasefires are set to coincide with significant national holidays, aiming to provide respite for civilians caught in the crossfire. Observers highlight that while ceasefires can offer temporary relief, the underlying issues remain unresolved, and skepticism persists regarding their durability. Both sides have expressed willingness to engage in discussions, yet previous agreements have often faltered. The international community is urging both parties to commit to genuine dialogues that can lead to lasting peace. The impact of these ceasefires will be closely monitored, with humanitarian organizations poised to assess the situation on the ground. As the world watches, the focus will be on whether this moment can be leveraged for meaningful negotiations or if it will simply serve as a pause in ongoing violence. The upcoming days will be pivotal in determining the future of the Ukraine conflict. As the conflict in Iran intensifies, military officials have raised alarms about the potential for a broader regional conflict. Reports indicate that skirmishes have increased along the borders, with both Iranian forces and U.S. troops engaged in heightened confrontations. The Pentagon's recent updates suggest that the U.S. is prepared for various potential scenarios, including increased military action if necessary. This situation has drawn international attention, with allies expressing concern over the potential ramifications of a protracted conflict. Experts warn that a miscalculation by either side could lead to significant escalation, threatening stability not only in Iran but also in surrounding countries. Diplomatic channels remain open, but the urgency for a resolution is growing as civilian casualties rise. The Iranian government has vowed to retaliate against any perceived aggression, leading to fears of an all-out war. As the situation develops, global markets are reacting to the uncertainty, with oil prices fluctuating dramatically. The international community is watching closely, hoping for a de-escalation while recognizing the complexities involved. The next few weeks will be critical in determining the future trajectory of U.S.-Iran relations and regional stability. In a significant political shift, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party has taken control of West Bengal, a state traditionally held by opposition parties. This victory marks a critical moment for Modi, as it consolidates his party's influence in a region previously resistant to its ideology. The results, celebrated by party workers, reflect a broader trend of Modi's political strategy, resonating with voters seeking stability and development. Analysts suggest that this outcome could reshape the political landscape in India, influencing future elections and party dynamics. The opposition faces challenges in regrouping and addressing the concerns raised by the electorate. As Modi's government prepares to implement policies in West Bengal, the focus will be on economic development and social reforms. The implications of this electoral win extend beyond state boundaries, potentially affecting national politics and alliances. Observers are keen to see how the BJP will manage governance in a state with diverse cultural and political backgrounds. The coming months will likely reveal whether this victory translates into tangible benefits for the people of West Bengal. The Pentagon held a crucial news briefing updating the public on the ongoing military operations against Iran. Officials, including Secretary of Defense Hegseth, provided insights into the current status of the conflict, highlighting the challenges faced by U.S. forces. The briefing underscored the complexities of the situation, including Iran's recent activities and its impact on regional stability. The war has seen increased tensions, with both sides engaging in a series of confrontations that have raised concerns about a broader regional conflict. U.S. military officials emphasized the need for vigilance and preparedness as the situation evolves. This latest update comes amid international calls for diplomatic solutions to de-escalate the tensions. Observers noted that the Pentagon's transparency aims to reassure allies and inform the public about the government's strategic objectives. As military operations continue, the focus will be on how the U.S. plans to navigate the intricate dynamics with Iran and its proxies throughout the region. The outcome of this briefing may significantly influence political discourse in Washington and beyond, as stakeholders weigh the risks of continued engagement versus seeking a resolution. In a dramatic turn of events, Russia and Ukraine have both announced competing ceasefires set for May 8th and 9th. This coincides with Russia's Victory Day celebrations, marking the end of World War II. The Russian Ministry of Defense declared that their ceasefire would last from May 8th to May 9th, aiming to allow civilians to celebrate this significant day. In contrast, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has asserted that the absence of military equipment in Russia's parade reflects Moscow's growing vulnerability, particularly highlighting the effectiveness of Ukraine's drone capabilities. This juxtaposition underscores the ongoing military struggle as both nations brace for potential escalations around this symbolic date. Historically, Victory Day has served as a powerful symbol of Russian nationalism, often showcasing military strength. The competing ceasefires signal a critical moment in the protracted conflict, as both sides attempt to leverage this occasion for political gain. The international community is closely monitoring these declarations, aware that any missteps could reignite hostilities and escalate the conflict further. The outcome of these ceasefires could significantly influence upcoming peace talks, particularly with European leaders engaged in discussions with Zelensky. As both nations navigate this delicate situation, the potential for renewed diplomatic efforts remains. Analysts suggest that the next few days could redefine the trajectory of the conflict, setting the stage for either renewed hostilities or a breakthrough in negotiations. Thank you for watching our news recap. Which story shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.